Hi guys, it's only a short video today, but it's something that I quickly wanted to go over that's sort of in response to some of the responses I've been getting to my forum posts about my Lightning Monk build. It's Mythic Rhythm. It's one of the passive skills that we was actually given in ROS, and it was somewhat overlooked, or at least by myself, until a couple of people mentioned it to me on my forum posts, and also in game. I'm using it instead of Transcendence at the moment, which is swapping out, obviously, the health you get back on for every point of spirit you spend. But I haven't got any health globe healing bonus at the moment anyway, so I'm not suffering too much from that. And recently, with a couple of pieces of gear, I got a really big boost to my life on hit, so I'm not too worried about my survivability at the moment anyway, so trading that out isn't too bad. The thing with Mythic Rhythm is apparently it works with every single spirit generator in the game, which is really, really powerful when it comes to using Sweeping Wind. So if you get 3 hits from a spirit generation that activates Sweeping Wind, as long as you keep that Sweeping Wind up, it's doing 40% extra damage, which we all know Sweeping Wind does enough damage as it is. But for there to be that extra 40% damage on top is going to be really, really powerful. It also means that while your Sweeping Wind is active, if you're still hitting 3 times with a Spirit Generator and then Lashing Tail Kick, that's doing additional damage as well. So literally any skill that involves you spending Spirit. However, I don't believe it works on the active part of your mantras. So even though it's 40% extra damage, I don't think you'll get 40% of the 202% damage you're returning from Mantra of Retribution, for instance. I haven't fully tested that yet, but I can look into that. So Mythic Rhythm really comes into play when you're using Lashing Tail Kick and Sweeping Wind. You should use it initially to get Sweeping Wind up to do the 40% extra damage, and then after that you should be using it to make sure your Lashing Tail Kicks are doing extra damage as well. What you should never do, however, though, is use it when you're Spirit capped. You should never be sitting on max Spirit as a monk anyway. You should always be spamming out Lashing Tail Kicks when you can, but at no point should you be over-capping your Spirit just for that extra third hit to do 40% extra damage on Lashing Tail Kick. Also, if you've had the ability to continuously Lashing Tail Kick, you should do that as it is higher DPS rather than spending the time. I believe this is up to any attack speed that I've tested anyway, is getting the 3 hits from whatever you are using as your Spirit Generator and then Lashing Tail Kick is too much downtime when you could be Lashing Tail Kick between 2.5 and 3 times in that amount of time you're using to get the extra 40% damage. So it really comes into play, say for instance, if you're low on Spirit and you've popped Epiphany, and you start hitting with your Spirit Generator, getting a lot of Spirit back, and Lashing Tail Kick, or even if you're just low on Spirit and you don't use Epiphany, building up that Spirit and then knocking out those Lashing Tail Kicks, that will do that extra little bit of damage as well. So that will really come into play there. The only other thing I wanted to quickly talk about was Unity. At the moment, Unity doesn't affect Mantra of Conviction because technically it's not a... it doesn't provide a buff to your group, it debuffs enemies. So it would be, if you're running Mantra of Conviction, Unity will not work. Unity also doesn't cap out anywhere, so if you've got the 3-piece inner set, the 4-piece inner set, which allows you to have all 4 baseline of your manas, because you'd then be in a group where you'd have 3 manas, because Mantra of Conviction isn't involved, affecting 3 people, that would technically give you 45% increased damage. I believe this is getting fixed possibly in a patch tonight, in the downtime tonight, in the extended maintenance, so that it caps out at 15%, so that technically if you're running 1 mantra, you can only be getting 15%, and even if you're running the inners 4-piece, you'll only be getting 15% from that as well. So they're the 2 things I quickly want to go over. So at the moment I would suggest, unless you're getting a large boost to Transcendence and you're using it for your survivability, don't swap out your survivability for more damage. However, if your survivability is fine, say you're a really high Paragon, you've got lots of life on hit, or there's lots of life on hit on your gear, or lots of life regen, or you're just a tank and you don't take any damage anyway, is I would suggest swapping Transcendence out for Mythic Rhythm, and it'll provide you with that little bit of extra damage boost when you're either low on Spirit, or you're just regenerating that Spirit to get those Lashing Tail Kicks out. And as I said, most importantly, to use it 3 times, and then to activate Sweeping Wind. The only problem with Mythic Rhythm at the moment is that Blizzard haven't implemented any way of you tracking this, so you don't get any sort of buff come up if you use your Spirit Generator. You then get a little buff come up to say Mythic Rhythm's active, so the next skill you use is going to deal that extra damage. So you sort of have to know, but with using skills like Deadly Reach, it's easy to know because generally you'll be knocking your enemy up on the 3rd hit anyway. but if not, you can obviously see. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. If you do like the video, by all means, like it, subscribe to the channel. Thanks very much.